Din it. Din it, din it, din it, din it. Din it, din it. Din it, din it, din it, din it. Din it, din it. Din it, din it, din it, din it. Din it. So today's video is going to be about the WestBend Theater Craze Stirring Theater Popcorn Machine. It's a Christmas gift that my mom got me and I absolutely freaking love it because I love popcorn. And tonight I feel like watching a movie, so I'm going to be using this machine. My favorite part is that it's really easy to use. Normally I would show a setup of me unboxing it and putting it together, but like it's really simple. It's really simple. Like the instructions are pretty clear. Like the door, this part right here, and of course the kettle and the stir itself, they come wrapped up like inside of this, and that comes inside the box, but it's really easy to put together. There's magnets on the top of this, so you can lift this up before you put in the popcorn and the grease or oil that you use, or butter, if you're crazy enough, butter. I've tried using butter with this. I don't really like the effect because the butter doesn't quite evenly melt in there as it's stirring. So then you end up with some pieces of popcorn soggy and others not. But overall, this machine's pretty nice. The kettle plugs directly into the machine, and then the machine, plugs into the wall. So the instructions are pretty clear. You take 2 tablespoons of oil and you put it in there, into the kettle. And then you put no more than 2 cups. No more than 2 cups. You don't have to do a whole 2 cups, but no more than 2 cups of like kerneled popcorn. And then you take this, put it down. You flip the wonderful little switch up here on, and it gets started. So I'll go ahead and do a demonstration. In case y'all are wondering, I live in the South, and in the South, we tend to reuse our oil and store it. So sorry if that looks a little ghetto or tacky. It's just regular vegetable oil. So like I said, you do 2 of these. Try not to drip this everywhere because I forgot to get paper towels, but that's okay. It's okay, mistakes happen. I can always wipe this shit up. You don't put any more than about 2 of these of oil in there. I don't know what happens if you put more. I have not tried that. I would not recommend it. One thing that's pretty neat is down here, like all the spare kernels that either don't get to become popcorn or any small pieces of popcorn get caught up down there, so that way you don't end up wasting like any of your popcorn. So tonight, I'm not wanting to get like too much popcorn, so I'm just gonna put about 1.5 cups. Yeah, 1.5 cups. So I'm trying to do all of this stuff one-handed. Okay, so as you can see, I have all of it in there. So the next step is you just bring this puppy down. You know, lock it in there pretty good. You know, line that up with those bolts. You shut the door. And then after that, you hit this wonderful button. Now, when you pop the popcorn, you're going to hear this stirring happening. If you can hear that slight hum. It takes about a minute or two. I think it takes up to about 3 minutes to just start up. You know, kind of like your car. You don't just turn your car on and hit gas. You let that bitch warm up. Same thing's happening here. Once it gets started, you'll start hearing the popping, and right about at that moment, what'll happen is it'll start popping. You'll turn it off after, according to the instructions, you'll turn it off after you notice in between pops it's taking like 2, 3, 4 seconds for you to hear another pop. It's really easy. It's also pretty easy to clean, because like the door, okay, this is hooked up by a magnet, by the way, right here. The door comes off its hinges. This kettle is hooked onto that with a hook, with 2 hooks. You unhook it, you can clean it. The instructions say do not submerge the kettle. Don't submerge the kettle fully into water. You just clean the inside of it. But other than that, it's pretty nice. It has the dramatic flair of the popcorn popping out the top and falling underneath the bottom, and it's pretty classical. If you want to feel like you have a whole movie theater thing going on in your house, and you get your Netflix set up, next thing you know, it's all ready to go. And then also it comes with a scoop, so after all this pops, you can scoop it up. I'm sorry, it just takes a minute for it to start. There it goes, y'all. It's happening. Oh, and that very defined popcorn smell happens as well. You just smell it as it's going. Fills the whole house up, or your room. One thing that's very clear by the instructions is that you don't mess with it while it's popping. So like if you want to add your seasonings and stuff to it, you're going to want to do that after it's popped. I mean, you can sprinkle salt and stuff in the beginning of the process, but it's not, I don't think that'd be a good idea. Alright, it's taking more than 2 seconds in between the pops. I'm gonna let it pop just like a minute longer. Okay, maybe not a whole minute, but just a few seconds longer. Okay, it's good. So you just switch this right here to O. And now your popcorn is just about done. So when you open this up, see it produces a lot of heat. This right here folds out. So like if you put a whole 2 cups, or if you're cooking like a massive amount of popcorn, you could literally just drop it all to the bottom and that's pretty good. Sorry about that. You could drop all this to the bottom. There's this little lever right here. It literally just lets all that drop. You can scoop this down here. As you can see, it pretty much scooped all the popcorn. The kettle is hot as hell, so I would not recommend, like what I'm doing right now, probably not a good idea. Holy Lord, that's hot in the motherfucker. You just scoop all that out. It's pretty much empty. Grab the handles. You hold this and then you bring that up. Just give me 1 second. And there we go. You got your popcorn. If you have a group of like 12 people or something like that, like a massive fuckload of people, all you gotta do is just load this up again. Remember, no more than 2 cups. And keep doing that till you have the desired amount of popcorn. And then once you do that, you can get ready to serve it. My mom also got me this cool bin, so I'm gonna put all this popcorn up in here, and I'm gonna go over to Netflix and watch a movie. This has been my review of the WestBend popcorn machine, and I hope it helps you guys out if you decide to get a popcorn machine. And let me know what y'all think in the comments. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. Anyhow, peace.